Yeah, I don't think that the cat. We'll talk about that, but I don't think the Kathy Bertoli is a nastier character. She's also a younger character though too, because during this time I was 25, 26, and this Carissa was 26, 27. In that play, the Kathy character is 16 or 17, like me. So there's a decade's worth of maturity. There's, you know.
So it may actually make Carissa worse because she should have more maturity than a teenager.
Yeah,
Um,
but the play doesn't really. The play is more about. I mean, this is in a sense a comedy, and she comes off fairly, well in the sense that I mean, you know, you might ask, well, why do you write a play? Well, why do I write a play like this? Because it's something that happened to me. It's an interesting thing, and a lot of these situations with these different females that I write about are the kinds of things that happen in real life. You meet people, you think that they're the bee's knees for a while, and then uh, you just sort of float off into different areas, and it's hard to distinguish that. Now, I that's one of the reasons, though. I do give her uh, the character. I give her that alt rock gal who was the roommate, which the real Carissa did have someone who was famous as a real roommate. I won't name the real singer that was in it, but I gave what's the gal who the alt singer that I gave her. Oh, the one who started her own record company and became in the late '90s. I can't even remember it now. I'll have to look up the character list here. Let's
let
see.
me see.
At the beginning, about Drake equation. Uh, Ladonis. I like the names I gave the guys. Labufa, meaning the B for large black man. Carissa. Uh, uh, Ani DeFranco.
Right. Yes.
Yeah,
I wanted to also mention you have an interesting conversation about the book Man's Search for Meaning, the Viktor Frankl book,
yeah.
and it's interesting how you in a later play it's more elaborate, but it's interesting how you use your current experiences and sort of mix them in with your past because I think at this point you hadn't read the Gulag Archipelago, but you sort of infuse it into the past. Um,
No, I did. I got the Gulag Archipelago sometime in the late '80s, so I did read that. Viktor Frankl book I read, back in junior high or whenever I read it.
But it's interesting how that conversation hops and skips, and then at the end of the scene, it goes back to the Holocaust.
Hmm. Yeah, I'd have to look at the scene. Like I said, this is
I
a few
I
months.
can I can get it for you right here.
What page is it on?
I need to find Man's Search for Meaning.
Man, search for meaning. Um, let's see. Now, people who are watching this know that that one of the disadvantages in real life of having a memory where things flow away and is so fluid is that you forget things easily. But on the other hand, it's great. It's much better than having a file drawer memory when you're writing because then you're sort of creaky and the artifice shows. So this is just Dan giving future writers a bit of advice.
Yes, on page 33, you have a conversation about the Viktor Frankl book and how the Archipelago book is a much richer piece of writing. And
Yeah.
then on page 33, after the conversation hops and skips, you say, getting back to the Holocaust. And
Oh,
I
okay.
thought that was a very interesting way
Yeah.
to deal with that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Only
talk
different.
out.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I just looking it over there too. Well, it's one of those things that um, you have to differentiate your character in some this way that way, and uh, in some of the plays, Danny is a bit more uh, smart ass than in others, and some Danny is a bit more morose than others, a bit more put down upon, and in this case, I think that just it's got an almost Woody Allen sensibility to it. Getting back to the Holocaust and blackout. And I like to use the blackouts. In only one play did I use the curtain falling, and that was forget which one where I
That
mimicked.
was the one that was sort of like the play in verse.
Yeah,
You
I
used
forget.
the high. You said that you took from high and low
Yeah,
to